I want to ask you about Campbell in a minute, but one thing I've been meaning to ask you for a while, you weren't at the launch press conference for this show, and Dereck Chisora went off on a bit of a tirade / tantrum about not being the main event. How do you think you would have reacted if you'd been there? It's something I've asked myself quite a lot.
I would like, the thing is I'm not going to go and, I'm not going to go and shout at Dereck Chisora. He's massive. He's 6 foot, whatever, 3 or 2 or whatever. But he's a big lump. But I think it's very disrespectful. These two are both unbeaten guys. They're both world champions. He's a long, long way away from a world title. And David Haye knows that. And I think it's a David Haye tactic. It's typical David. I've been around David for a long time, and it's just he sat there all puzzled. But he knew exactly what was going on, but the thing is, it's worked in our favour. It's brought people towards the show, and I think with David Price being a late replacement, I think that's a good thing for Dereck Chisora because it's an easier fight than Joseph Parker, but he still has to be massively on it. I think Price is going to cause him big problems because he's got a lot of confidence off the Dave Allen fight, and I think a really well-trained David Price gives him problems, but I don't know how conditions he's going to be with only 3 weeks or 4 weeks to go. So he was on the November 23rd show, but I wouldn't have reacted. I would have had to have bit my tongue, but I just think it's a bit disrespectful, but that's typical Dereck Chisora.
2 questions about Campbell before I let you go. One, when is he back and on what show? I suppose it's 3 questions really then. Yeah. And now you've seen Lomachenko up close, having watched loads of him previously. Is he the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world?
I'll answer the first one. He'll be out in December, I think December 13th on the DAZN show. I don't know if it's on the East or West Coast, but we'll have that announcement pretty soon. It'll be a routine not a routine, but it'll be a 10 rounder, maybe a former champion or something like that. And Lomachenko, yes. I sat there. Luke went to hospital afterwards because he thought he cracked a rib, but it was all routine. He just had took a lot of fluid in, and he took some good body shots around the back. So after a few hours and the adrenaline was gone, he was relaxed. But he sat in there and he just went. He was bloody good one, and he went, yeah. And you think about Luke's losses. He lost to Linares on a split. It could have gone either way, and the knockdown really won that fight. And then obviously the Mendy fight, he wasn't prepared for. He revenged that loss, but he's been in there with world-class fighters since he was an amateur, and he was like different. He's a different kettle of fish. He's a different breed, and it shows that way. Just watching them up close, I can only describe it like watching Roger Federer play tennis. You know how he just glides across the court, and it doesn't look like he just reads it so well. It just looks effortless, and that's what it looked like up close. I've never seen Luke look out of his depth. Whether it's by Josh or anybody, I've never seen him look sort of out of his depth, and at times he looked a little bit, he looked a little bit out of his depth, but then again he got up and fought, and he hurt Lomachenko throughout the fight, and Lomachenko is the first one to admit that afterwards. He hurt him a lot of times, but he's mustard, isn't he? I think he is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. It's just a shame of his height and his stature. He can't. If he was a massive puncher, then he'd be able to go up a little bit more like a Manny Pacquiao. But I don't think. I think he knows his. I wouldn't say he knows his limitations, but I think he's aware of them. Do you know what I mean? And I think he wants to keep himself winning. And he threw himself in a deep end against the leader, and it posed a bit of a problem because of the weight. And I think he knows that sparring guys in the States, that if he has guys that's leaning on him, it's gonna be, he just can't push them off because he's naturally a smaller guy. I don't think he would go much above 140 pounds, even when he's out of camp, And it's tough, but I think he is the best pound for pound fighter.
Brilliant. Well, we always appreciate your time, and good luck on the 26th.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.